Going to do a video today, just to sort of like talk about some of the shifting of the frequencies going on at the moment. A lot of people are feeling it. They're feeling sort of like different shifts with the energies that are coming down. There is some sort of like some physical sort of effects of it and an impact of it. I know that I've been feeling quite a bit sort of like around my right hand side here. I've been feeling like a heaviness and like a headache and sort of like feeling like there's some energy around there and there's shifting around there, and I felt like that over the last few days. So that's been going on quite a bit for the last couple of days as the shifting and the new energies are starting to sort of like integrate within your sort of energy system and your energy field. And when this happens, it's a case of just trying to sort of like open up to it. It's not to fight it, it's to allow it to start to flow. I do know that when people start to awaken and they start to feel these kind of sort of like these energy shifts or these awakenings or these activations, it can sort of knock people around a little bit, as they can start to feel very sort of like they can feel very fatigued, they can feel very overwhelmed, they can feel quite emotional. And when these things go on, the first thing is people are sort of like worried about something. Is there something wrong with them? Are they ill? And sometimes it's just about the frequencies aligning with your physical body and your energy field, and it's releasing and dissolving the the blocks within your body and actually and your energy field, and it will come out. You'll feel it in your physical sensations within your body. So this is quite normal, and it's about just trying to allow it to go. Sometimes it could be sort of you feel like heaviness, or you feel tension, or you feel sort of like like pressure in your head, and some of that is just like being released as well. So it's part of the process. It's part of your energies opening up. It's about breathing into it, trying to allow it to flow in and allow it to open up. Um, the source and the energies around you will guide you, will help you with it. It's about a case of just like listening, allowing yourself to move through it. I know there are people out there that work as like energy healers, and they specialise in working with people sort of to open up their energy centres and open up the kundalini and stuff like that. So I mean, and these people have like tools and have a sort of like ways and processes and approaches of doing that. I've been through a lot of shiftings in my life. I haven't necessarily ever gone to anybody who's opened up or opened me up or anything like that. I did Reiki years ago, but a lot of it is just when these things come up, it's just like being aware of it and recognising, being conscious of it, and start to allow it to sort of integrate and flow. Because obviously there's two, you've got like an old vibration or like an old frequency that's on the planet, and it's also it's on within you in your own energy field, and then there's a new frequency coming out. And when they sort of come down, what's got to happen is they've got to sort of align, and it's like when you tune in a radio, the frequencies have to sort of come into line and start to sort of like the waves to start to sort of like work together, or to be sort of like connected in that way. So that's what's going on. So as yours are expanding and these new frequencies are coming in, the older frequencies are dissolving and they're being released, and they're being sort of so that's happening on the planet as well on a big scale. So if you're a sensitive being, you're going to feel these shifts. You're going to feel what's going on, because actually the planet has like an energetic field, and it also has like a physical field. And when you're open and you're sensitive, you're connected to that energetic field and those energy frequencies, those energy ley lines and the energy sort of grids on the planet. You're going to feel it shift, because what's going on is there's this new spiritual energy coming down, and it's harmonising with the planet, and it's dissolving again. And it's like I keep saying about this, like the third and the fourth, the third dimensional reality, the 3D reality, and then the fourth and the fifth. That's going on at the moment. There's a lot of shifting happening for a lot of us. I mean, you talk about this, I mean, I've had quite a bit lately to do with like this violet flame and stuff like that, and everybody's talking about like transmutation and Saint Germain. It's about ascension and transformation, and it dissolves. And I've been seeing a lot of violet light the last couple of days, so I know something's going on in that way, that things are being dissolved and they're being released. It's just about sort of like going through that. I know, like I keep saying, I've got around my spine side of my head here. There's a lot of tension down this side, and especially on this side by my temple. And I know that people are saying that that's where they feel it as well. They feel some of this tension, like in their temple as they start to like release these energies. So these energies are coming down, and they're integrating, they're activating your energy fields and sort of like your light bodies, and they're programming or sort of like downloading this information. So when it goes on, it's like your frequency will shift and change. So it could be a few weeks, or it could be longer, depending on how long it takes to integrate within your own energy. It doesn't tend to like last very long when I sort of like go through this process. I have a few days of feeling a bit sort of heavy in energy, and then it starts like it can also feel like a cold or something like that. And then after that, then you feel things start to shift, and then the energy shifts. I mean, it's happened over the last couple of days, because the last couple of days I felt heavy for one day. The next day I felt like something shifted. Then I felt heavy again. Then something shifted, and it goes like that. It goes like peaks and troughs, which is quite normal. And these kind of things go on. So again, it's about that. But like I said, I've been feeling like the spine's been expanded, and like the energy channels have expanded, and the energy flowing through. It's definitely coming sort of like the universal energy is flowing again. I can feel it now as I'm starting to say this. So like my side of my head, as I start to go into the energy, it's being released. So there's something in that as I come into the energy, and I start to talk about this energy and about your energy, your energy channel flowing out, then that sort of like that heaviness in my head and that side of my head is starting to dissolve as I start to talk about it. So there's something in that. So it's about moving into that energy and starting to really embrace it and open up to it. And the more you open up to it, the more the energy starts to then flow through you. So it's about opening every day. It's about taking time to open every day when this comes through. This is what I feel as I'm starting to talk about it. Something's now come and stepped in and started to talk about this. So the energy that's coming down, or the energy that's been sort of manifested and created on the planet at the moment, is coming from the universal guides, it's coming from the ascended mass, it's coming from the angelic realms, and it's coming down from the universe. It's coming down to us at the moment, and what we need to do is open to it. This is what I'm being told. You need to open up to it. You need to start to open your channel up to it. The more that you open up to it, the more that it will harmonise, the more it will integrate, the more it will shift. It will shift those kind of blockages, those things that are within your own energy. It will dissolve your energy field, and it will allow it to be integrated and activate to a higher frequency. It will also bring in higher thought, higher insight, higher understanding as we start to connect into this. Actually, as I'm starting to go into this now, I feel like there's a reading coming through this, like the universal reading. I feel like like the ascended mass of the angels and the universal guides are trying to bring this in to say that we need to open up to this. So this is what's, so if you're not opening up to it, and you're not opening up to this new energy, then it's going to feel like it's not integrated. But this is where the heaviness is going to come from, and this is where some of you're going to feel like the physical sort of aches and pains in your body. It's about sort of opening up, allowing that light, vibrant, new vibrant energy to come in, and it start to sort of like rejuvenate you sort of, and awaken more. It will bring energy to your spirit, it will bring energy to your spiritual energy, your energy field, and it will allow you to walk and expand as well, bringing more sort of insight, more consciousness, more understanding in. But it will also allow you to dissolve and remove blockages, and what part of this is about awakening to your purpose, awakening to your path. There's a lot of people there's a lot of spiritual energy, there's a lot of spiritual sort of movement happening on the planet at the moment. There's a lot of people talking within the communities, and there's a lot of people talking about shifting, but there's a lot of people talking about awakening to the purpose, awakening to their energy, and starting to use it in a more spiritual way in their lives. And this is what this is about. It's about shifting the planet. It's about shifting the energy on the planet. It's about shifting the energy within ourselves. Again, it's about this kind of sense of rebirth that's coming at the moment. These energy lines, these energy fields that are coming down, these energy frequencies that are coming down, are connecting in, and they're bringing sort of like this new frequency that we all need to start to attune to. And it's about starting to move away. I keep talking about the third, fourth and fifth dimension, but it's so important at the moment because we're so caught up in this third dimensional reality, and this part of this is what's anchoring and holding the planet from not shifting at the moment, not shifting into this new higher frequencies of these higher sort of vibrations that are coming through third dimension, the more we hold on to control, and the more we hold on to sort of materialism and the outer world and the physical world, the more we sort of like we become attached to that and connected into that. The more we sort of anchor in these lower frequencies and these political systems and everything else that's going on. And part of that is part of the chaos that's here at the moment, part of the disharmony that's going on. So it's very important that we start to rise and move past that and start to connect to that spiritual energy, that spiritual insight within ourselves, and start to shift into that. So we start to integrate those new energies. So these new energies are going to bring new direction, new opportunity, new connection. It's going to bring, definitely going to bring sort of, I'm going to say like a new direction. It's like it awakens something in you, and you'll start to see, you approach things, or you'll have a different perspective to something. There's a lot of things that need to shift around us in our lives, and when awakening is about being sort of like using your spiritual understanding, your spiritual knowledge, and integrating it in your life. But it's also about living your purpose and expressing your light in every way you can. And this is what this energy is about. It's about sort of reconnecting us to that energetic world that's been there and is around us, and opening up your channel so you can start to receive and start to express and shine and send that energy out there. A lot of it is around sort of like co-creation, a lot of it is around law of attraction at the moment. As the universe starts to come down, we need to start shifting and shedding a lot of things. We need to start to sort of like create and move through our own lives in a way that we're going to start to connect with each other, but also start to bring harmony in everything we do. The angelic realms and the ascended masters are all about sort of oneness. They're all about this harmony, this balance. And a lot of us live in our lives in disharmony, and this is where we feel disconnected, and this is where a lot of people are feeling like the ebbs and flows of the energy, but also the highs and lows of it as well. Because as long as we feel disconnected and we're not in harmony, the more that we feel, you're going to feel that kind of that heaviness of the energy, and you'll feel it. There's like a quickening to this as well. This is what I want to say. There's a quickening to this energy. I feel very much so with these new vibrations that are coming in, because they're so high and they're so light. They create and they manifest so very quickly. So this is why it's important to be on balance as well, or in harmony, because as the energies come down, you literally, if you think about something negative, you feel it instantly, and then it's like you've got to come back into harmony. Then you feel it again. So it's like this kind of where you're constantly being sort of like back and forth. And this is why it's so important at the moment that this is what we do. So you need to open up to like your heart center, your third eye, and your throat. You've got to start speaking your truth. You've got to be speaking in your truth. You've got to start opening up with compassion and balance and harmony and nurturing. But you also need to open up with like clarity and insight. Watch your thoughts, watch your mind, watch your insights, watch your spoken words, watch your emotions, because everything is connected and everything's interconnected. There's so much going on with it at the moment, and it's about sort of like us just trying to stay. I also feel there's like a detox going on, and this is where I feel like this is going on, because I can see like a lime colour that's coming down, and this lime colour is always like detoxing. So I know there's a big detoxing happening, not just us individually, but planetary as well. And this is what's happening. So the energy lines, the energy fields are opening up, and as they open up, we're connecting to them again. And as we connect to these energy lines and these energy fields within the planet, we're starting to again open up to the spirit world and the spiritual energies. And so, like they say, the veil is between this world and the next. Well, that's thin again at the moment, and this is what you're feeling. So as these frequencies come down, and they're very different frequencies to what we're used to feeling. So this is why you're feeling the difference in your energy, because as they start to integrate, they're going to shift and clear your energy, but obviously you're going to be on a different vibration. And when you integrate and come on a different vibration, you start to see the world differently, and you start to see it from a different perspective, because you start to see it with spiritual clarity and spiritual eyes. You start to get spiritual sight, so things look very differently, because everything, like I say, is about harmony, it's about balance, it's about sort of oneness. So it's very different when you start to see things in a spiritual way, because you're not seeing about the singular, but like the singular sort of perspective. You start to see like a collective perspective, and this is part of your purpose. Your purpose is to send that light out, that energy. People are talking about light workers. Again, this is something that's been talked about in some groups that I'm part of. Light worker is a term, a label that people use. I'm not sure how I see that terminology, because I feel we're all like light beings. We're all sort of like got this essence, this spark, and we all bring it, and we all express it on some level. So on some level, we're all light workers. We're all here to heal. We're all here to awaken. We're all here to enlighten. This is part of what we're doing. I can see a beacon or a flame. It's sort of like a you would see like on like a little triangle with a circle on it and a flame coming off it. And that beacon is the source. It's like a temple. It brings knowledge. It brings insight. So that I know also from seeing that, like these sacred flames or this beacon of light, is this the source? Again, it's bringing information. It's bringing universal source down, energy down to us. Again, this is connected to, like, I feel like Almoira. That ascended master, as we start to bring us into the divine flow, as we start to sort of like become more connected to that source, we start to co-create. But we co-create and express from our true nature, our essence. And this is what this time's about. It's starting to come into your heart, into your center, awaken there within your own spirit, within your own energy, and start to see your true nature and start to express it, and start to move away from the physical and start to move towards the spiritual. And this is where we start to move in the third and fourth dimension. But it's very much around dissolving, purifying, and releasing at the moment, which has been going on for a long time. But these energy shifts are going to keep going. I feel these are coming through all the way through to the end of the year. They're coming through, and obviously next year there's going to be a massive sort of cycle of energy coming through. I see like a bit of I don't know, it's like not like a spiral, but like a swirl of energy that's coming through. And I see that swirl of energy spinning more and more, and it's symbolic of the energy frequencies that are coming through. It's a bit like a Catherine wheel. They're coming through more and more and more, and they're building. And I know this is coming through, and this is going to keep coming through now, and this is going to keep shifting. The shifts are going to be coming all the way through to the next year and further into like halfway into like the mid part of next year as well. They're going to keep coming through as they keep bringing these new energies for us, as we need to keep sort of moving through them, keep integrating with them, keep connecting with them. Yeah, there's a massive ball of light above my head now as I start to see this, so I know the energies are opening up. That headache that I had in the right hand side of my head is now dissolved, so I know by opening up to the energies, it's the way that they start to integrate, and it starts to alleviate these signs and symptoms of some of these of the energy integrating with it, and the energy sort of expansion within you, or like the rising of the energy is all very much around that. So you need to start doing that. You need to sort of like go within yourself. You need to connect to them. You need to open up to it. Imagine your sort of like spine expanding like this, and imagine this universal energy coming down through your coming down through your head, into your sort of crown chakra, and bringing the light down. That's what you need to be doing. So you need to just be concentrating on that. As that starts to do that, and that will open and expand all your energy centers. Your chakras will start to spin and open up, and your whole energy frequency, your whole physical body will start to energize and vibrate on a different frequency. I can feel that as soon as I do that. So this is what you need to do. So this is the information for today. Take it away. If you have any comments, or you have any sort of experiences that you want to share, please comment, in the box below. And if I, I'm one of the gifts that Spirit work with me is to answer questions, to help people's spiritual growth and development. This is why I'm here. This is my purpose. So if you've got any questions, please either post them below or direct message me. You're more than welcome to either. Alright, that's the reading for today.